Today, the world passes through the hard times because of the coronavirus pandemic that has affected human activities. The impact of COVID-19 and its consequences are felt differently depending on our status as individuals or members of society. For instance, the civil aviation is considered one of the major ways in spreading COVID-19 to other states, and that starts the pandemic. Therefore, the government has already restricted flight travels in their nations over the world and shut down most of the airports. However, this decision has led to a significant devastating issue in airline industry. I'm Aaron Anthony with the student ID number 53211220074 from 6BML2. Would like to discuss about a particular airline known as the Singapore Airlines that have gained profit from strategies implemented within the organization to sustain the airline industry after pandemic. So Singapore Airlines has been voted among one of the top 3 airlines for the past decade. Since the pandemic hit by April 2020, Singapore Airlines have suffered a major loss of 400 million Singapore dollars just within a month. And the airline industry was operating at about 3% of the pre-pandemic capacity. So to maintain the survival rate of the airline economic recognition, Singapore Airlines have already collaborated with stakeholders such as Temasek Shareholdings Private Limited, where the stakeholders will support this recognized Singapore Airlines rather than lead the airlines to bankruptcies or burn the market off. Singapore Airlines has raised 22.4 billion Singapore dollars since April 2020 by then, and also including 15 billion Singapore dollars from shareholders through the sales of shares and convertible bonds. And furthermore, the biggest disruption of aviation history has also provided a unique opportunity to expand the career of global presence. So, for instance, at some point last year, during 2020, Singapore Airlines had already developed one of their A380 Super Jumbo Jet into a pop-up restaurant for customers, where the price of for a meal is up to 642 Singapore dollars. David Mann, Chief Economist for Asia Pacific and Middle East Africa at Mastercard Economics Institute, has claimed said that people would still bound for traveling rather than staying at homes all time in the future, in few years' time. So therefore, Singapore has already reopened the borders and was among the first in the region to open borders, that initially allowing entry from without quarantine to fully vaccinated people from other countries and states, selected countries and states last year. Some of the Singapore carrier routes includes New York and London are already back to normal, and also services are being added up. So due to the easing of COVID-19 restrictions, travel restrictions, Singapore Airlines was able to swung up to first quarter net profit of 370 million Singapore dollars. So the figure was a major improvement from the 400 million lost Singapore dollars during the first quarter of the year, which the Singapore Airlines industry have severely suffered a huge loss. And the travel demand has rebounded strongly in all regions except for East Asia, where some of the rules remain stricter than most of the world. So the airline has been ramping up capacity from its Singapore hub and expects to reach about 81% of the pre-pandemic levels by the end of this December, up from 61% in the June quarter. So therefore, the travel demand is expected to remain robust in the near term for the upcoming future, according to the claim by Singapore Airlines statement. In response to the strong demand for air travel, Singapore Airlines said that they will increase the traveling services across Japan, and other states and countries such as Paris and Los Angeles, and moreover. So finally, Singapore Airlines will continue to improve the airport experience for their customers in the future. And soon, everyone can fly. That's all from me. Thank you.